Welcome to the Deep Dive, where we cut through the noise and get straight to the insights you need. Today, we're diving deep into a creative challenge that many of you, or amazing listeners, have brought up. We're talking about how to create visually consistent characters when you're telling a story with AI-generated images. Especially using tools like Gemini. You told us about the frustration. It's like you generate a character, they look perfect, and then bam, next scene, their face shape is different, or that cool scar just vanishes, maybe their glasses disappear.
Exactly. It's like commissioning this brilliant artist who just somehow forgets what your character looks like every 5 minutes. Perfect skill, zero memory. So the mission of this deep dive isn't just, talking about the problem. We want to give you a clear, practical, step-by-step tutorial. We're really going to walk you through the how-to for achieving what we call character lock, making your AI storytelling consistent, finally.
Okay, I like the sound of character lock. So let's unpack this. Before we jump into the how-to, what's the core challenge we're actually up against here? Why do these AI tools seem so forgetful?
Right. The fundamental thing to grasp, and it might be a bit counterintuitive, is that these modern image AIs, Gemini, Delay 3, Midjourney, you name it, they don't actually remember characters from one prompt to the next at all.
They don't remember at all.
Think of the AI less like a person with memory and more like an incredibly skilled but very literal artist, starting with a completely blank canvas every single time you hit generate. Each new prompt, it's a fresh start. If you just type, okay, now show Dr. Tanaka again, it has no clue who Dr. Tanaka was in the last image. It needs the full description, the detailed character sheet, every single time.
Ah, okay. So it's not forgetting, it's just that each prompt is a completely new instance, a blank slate. So our job isn't to remind the AI, it's to reinform it, give it all the data again. So if the AI really have this zero short-term memory for characters,
Yeah.
what's the workaround? What is the secret to getting that consistency we need?
Well, the secret, and it sounds almost too simple, is just relentless consistency in your prompt. That's it. You, the storyteller, you have to be the director who's super precise. The AI is your incredibly talented artist, but yeah, forgetful. You just need to give it the exact same core instructions every single time.
Okay, so we're not hoping for consistency, we're engineering it through the prompt.
Exactly. You engineer it. And we've actually boiled this down into a 4-phase professional workflow that should work pretty well across the board with, any of the major AI image tools.
All right, engineering consistency, I'm ready. Let's get into phase one. This sounds like it's foundational, right? Building the character's core identity.
Absolutely. Phase 1 is all about forging your character's digital DNA. We call this the Genesis description. Before you even think about generating a scene, you need to create a really definitive, structured character blueprint. And honestly, we highly recommend using a structured format, something like JSON.
JSON.
Yeah.
Okay, that might sound a bit technical for some folks who aren't coders. Why specifically JSON? Can't I just write a good paragraph description? What's the advantage?
Yeah, that's a fair question. It really gets to the heart of how you communicate clearly with these AIs. Think of JSON like a super organized recipe card or maybe a detailed contact entry in your phone. It uses the specific, rigid structure keys and values that leaves zero room for ambiguity. Every detail about your character gets neatly categorized. It makes it really easy for the AI to sort of read and apply those details consistently.
Okay.
A free-form paragraph, while it feels more natural to write, can sometimes be, open to interpretation by the AI. It might latch on to some phrases more than others. JSON forces us to be precise and organized, which is exactly what a stateless AI needs.
Right, like giving the artist bullet points with clear headings instead of just a rambling story. Makes sense.
Exactly. So what kind of details go into this digital DNA, this JSON structure? You want to focus on 2 main categories, what we call immutable anchors and semi-permanent features.
Immutable anchors. Okay, like things that absolutely don't change.
Precisely. These are the non-negotiable core traits, the things that really define the character's fundamental look, and importantly, things the AI can reliably detect or generate. They're sort of binary, either there or not. So first, you absolutely need to nail down their ethnicity and approximate age, like 50-year-old East Asian man or 30-year-old Hispanic woman. That sets a really strong visual foundation. Next, bone structure or face shape. This is surprisingly crucial for getting consistent facial recognition generation after generation. Specify something like oval face with prominent cheekbones, or maybe rounder face with a soft jawline. The AI is pretty good with these geometric descriptions.
Okay, age, ethnicity, face shape.
Then, this is kind of your storyteller's secret weapon, unique permanent marks. Think a small, faded scar on his left cheek for, say, our Dr. Tanaka example, or maybe a small mole on her chin for a Dr. Flores character. These are super specific binary details. The AI can usually latch onto these really well, and if it misses it, you spot it immediately.
Okay.
And finally, under anchors, signature accessories. If your character always wears something distinctive, like thin, rectangular wireframe glasses for Dr. Tanaka, or maybe a specific watch or ring, put it in there. These become part of their visual identity.
Wow, okay. It's incredibly specific. We're not just saying old man with glasses. We're instructing, 50s-year-old East Asian man, oval face, high cheekbones, small scar on left cheek, thin wireframe glasses. It really does feel like writing a detailed contract with the AI.
It is, exactly. You're creating that binding contract, that digital fingerprint. Then we move to the semi-permanent features. These are things that generally define the character's look, but might have slight variations scene to scene while still keeping them recognizable. So think about their hair, color, length, and maybe a default style. Short, salt and pepper hair or long, dark brown hair pulled back in a neat bun. And also their eyes. Color and shape are important. Sharp, dark, almond-shaped eyes gives the AI way more to work with than just, dark eyes.
Got it. Anchors are fixed, semi-permanent, define the general look, but allow for some variation. Okay. But copying and pasting all those JSON field every single time still sounds a bit fiddly. Is there a shortcut?
Yes, excellent point. We need to make this practical. So to make it super efficient, we strongly recommend adding one more field right into your JSON file. Call it something like prompt block. This field holds a pre-written, concise paragraph that just summarizes all those key, immutable, and semi-permanent details you just defined. It's your character's ready-to-go identity snippet.
Ah, okay, like a pre-compiled description.
Exactly. You just copy this one paragraph and paste it. Saves time, ensures accuracy. For our Dr. Tanaka example, that prompt block might read, Dr. Kenji Tanaka, a 50s-year-old East Asian man with short salt and pepper hair, an oval face with high cheekbones, a small faded scar on his left cheek, and wearing his signature thin rectangular framed glasses. Having that ready, game changer.
That is brilliant. Okay, so phase one, forge the digital DNA using JSON, including that handy prompt block. We've got our character defined. What's phase two?
Phase two is relatively quick but important. Create your establishing shot, your visual anchor. Once you have that detailed Genesis description, use it to generate a clean, well-lit portrait or, an establishing image of each character. This isn't just a test image, it's your visual reference, your North Star for what they should look like. Keep this image somewhere easily accessible. You'll compare all future generations against it.
Right, like the actor's official headshot for the movie. You always refer back to that.
Precisely. It keeps you honest and helps you spot inconsistencies later.
Okay, DNA defined, visual anchor established. Now for the main event. How do we actually put them into a story scene without them morphing? This must be phase three, the core of this character lock.
You got it. Phase three is where you master the carry-forward prompting technique. This is where the lock really clicks into place. The rule is simple but absolute. You must reintroduce your character with their core defining features every single time they appear in a new prompt. No exceptions.
Every single time. Okay, how does that look in practice?
It's a three-step drill, basically. 1, copy the prompt block. Go to your character's JSON file, grab that perfectly crafted paragraph. 2, paste it into every new prompt. This is the non-negotiable part. Assume the AI has total amnesia about the previous image. Treat every prompt like the first time it's meeting this character. 3, add scene-specific details. Only after you've pasted the core character description do you add the new stuff for this specific scene, the setting in a bustling cafe, the action, typing on a laptop, the emotion looking thoughtful, maybe different attire, wearing a blue sweater, camera angle, lighting, whatever.
Okay, so instead of just saying, like, now show Dr. Tanaka and Dr. Flores talking in a car.
Right.
Which, as we know, will give you random people.
Right. That simple prompt is a recipe for inconsistency. Instead, you'd use a more expert prompt structure, something like this. A photorealistic medium shot inside a moving car. The driver is Dr. Kenji Tanaka, a 50s-year-old East Asian man with short, salt and pepper hair, an oval face with high cheekbones, a small faded scar on his left cheek, and wearing his signature thin, rectangular framed glasses. He's looking ahead. In the passenger seat, Dr. Alara Flores, a 30s-year-old Hispanic woman with long, dark brown hair pulled back in a neat bun, large, sharp, almond-shaped eyes, and a small mole on her chin, turns towards him, smiling slightly. See? You're literally reintroducing them with their core details every time.
Wow. Okay. The key takeaway really is that absolute unwavering repetition of those core identity markers from the prompt block. It feels a bit like you're over-explaining, but that's the point.
It does feel like over-explaining to a human, but for the AI, it's just the necessary information to reconstruct the character consistently. You're not relying on memory. You're forcing reconstruction based on the same blueprint. It gives you control.
Right. Control, not hope.
But even with this perfect prompting discipline, sometimes, sometimes the AI might still fumble a detail. Maybe Dr. Tanaka's scar looks weird in a dimly lit scene, or it disappears altogether if the scene is really complex.
Okay, so what happens then? If a detail gets missed or the face starts to look a little off, do we just hit generate again with the same prompt?
Good question. No, not just rerun blindly. That brings us to phase 4, the iterative refinement loop. This is where you actively guide the AI back on track.
Iterative refinement. Okay.
First step, generate and analyze. Make the image, then pull up your establishing shot, that visual anchor from phase 2. Compare them critically. What's wrong? Is the jawline slightly different? Is the scar missing? Is the hair parted on the wrong side? Be specific. Second step, refine the prompt. Now, for your next attempt, don't just reuse the previous prompt. You need to reinforce the specific detail that was wrong or missing. So your new prompt would still have the full prompt block, but you might add extra emphasis or clarification, like make sure to clearly show the small faded scar on his left cheek. Or maybe emphasizing his prominent oval face and high cheekbones. You're giving the AI direct feedback.
Ah, I see. So you're not just re-rolling the dice. You're actively correcting the AI's interpretation for the next attempt.
Exactly. You're saying almost perfect, but you missed this specific thing from the blueprint. Let's try again. Pay attention to this. It's a feedback loop. You're taking control and guiding it closer to your vision.
That's really powerful. It puts the control back in the creator's hands. Okay, so these 4 phases seem really solid for getting 1 or 2 characters consistent.
They are. But what about bigger stories? Multiple characters, or working with a team? That's where you need to scale this up a bit. Yeah, for stories with, say, 5-10 characters, or if you're collaborating with others, just relying on copying from one big description document gets messy. The next logical step is moving to a library of individual character files. This is how you build what we call a character Bible.
Character Bible. Okay, so instead of one big JSON file, you'd have Jatanica.json, drflores.json, nursmiller.json, each one separate.
Precisely.
But why? Wouldn't one file be simpler to manage? What's the real advantage of splitting them up like that for bigger projects?
That's a common first thought, but splitting them offers huge advantages, especially as things get complex. First, modularity and reusability. Think of each character file as its own self-contained Lego brick. Need Tanaka and Flores in a scene. Grab their JSONs, copy their prompt blocks. Need Flores and Miller. Grab theirs. It's super clean and efficient. Reduces copy-paste errors, too.
Okay, the Lego brick analogy works.
Second, and this is crucial for consistency, single source of truth. Each character's file is the master file for their appearance. If you decide Dr. Tanaka should now have slightly more gray in his hair, you update it in one place, drtanaka.json. Then, every future prompt using his prompt block automatically reflects that change. No hunting through old prompts or documents. It ensures perfect consistency over the entire project lifespan.
That is a big deal for long projects or teams. Change it once, it's fixed everywhere.
Exactly. Third, scalability. Imagine a story with 20 characters. One giant JSON file would be a nightmare to navigate. Separate files keep everything manageable and organized. And finally, clarity and focus. Each character file is dedicated solely to that character's description. Their prompt block is lean and specific just to them. This gives the AI cleaner, more focused data for each character when you combine them in a prompt. Better data in, better consistency out.
Okay, the benefits of separate files for a character Bible are clear now. Modularity, single source of truth, scalability focus. Makes total sense for bigger projects. So let's talk workflow. If I'm on a team using this character Bible, or even if I just want to switch between AI tools myself, maybe use Gemini today, but try DLE3 tomorrow, does this consistency hold up? Can we transfer this?
Yes, absolutely. That's one of the strengths of this method. It's designed to be portable and platform agnostic because the core principle isn't tied to some secret feature of Gemini or DALL-E. It relies on the text prompt being detailed and consistent. And all these major AI models are fundamentally guided by the text prompt.
So the method works anywhere because it's about how we write the prompt, not about the AI itself.
Exactly. You're using a universally applicable methodology based on clear communication. So, for a team, the workflow is straightforward. 1. Create a centralized character Bible. Put all those individual character JSON files in a shared place. Everyone can access Google Drive, GitHub, Notion, whatever works for your team. That's your single source of truth. 2. Standardize the prompting process. This is key. Train everyone on the team to always go to the character Bible first. Select the JSON files for the characters needed in the scene. Copy the prompt block text for each one. Paste those blocks into whatever AI tool they're using, Gemini, Delay, Midjourney, doesn't matter. Then add the scene-specific stuff.
Right, so the process is the same regardless of the tool, ensuring everyone uses the same core character data.
Precisely. Now, there is one small caveat to mention when switching platforms.
Okay, what was that?
While the core identity of Dr. Tanaka, his scar, glasses, ethnicity, face shape, will remain consistent because you're feeding the same prompt block, the overall style or aesthetic of the image might vary slightly between different AI models.
Ah, right, the AI's inherent style.
Exactly. Think of it as the artistic interpretation caveat. You give the same detailed character sheet to three amazing but different artists. Gemini might give you that clean photorealistic look. Daily might lean slightly more illustrative or use more vibrant colors. Midjourney might give you something moodier, more dramatic lighting, maybe a painterly feel.
So the character is recognizable, but the feel of the image might change.
Correct. The identity is locked thanks to your consistent prompt, but the presentation might differ based on the AI's training and inherent style. The crucial part is Dr. Tanaka will still look like Dr. Tanaka across all platforms. Your team just needs to decide which artist's style fits the project best or be okay with those subtle stylistic variations.
That makes sense. Consistency and identity, flexibility and style. Okay, so to kind of bring it all home then, the big secret to getting consistent AI characters isn't some hidden feature or a magic button in the AI tool.
Not at all. It's really about a disciplined, methodical approach to how you engineer your prompts. By creating those detailed Genesis descriptions, preferably in structured files like JSON, generating that establishing shot as your visual anchor, and then diligently, relentlessly using the carry-forward prompting technique, pasting that prompt block every single time, you gain incredible control.
Right.
And for bigger projects or teams, centralizing everything in that character Bible ensures everyone's working from the same playbook, maintaining consistency across the board, even across different AI platforms.
It really empowers you, the creator, to build these rich, visually consistent narratives, making sure your audience stays immersed because they actually recognize the characters from scene to scene, frame to frame.
Exactly. It takes the guesswork out of it.
So here's something to think about. Imagine applying this character lock discipline not just to one story, but maybe to an entire shared universe of stories you're creating. Characters could appear across different narratives, maybe even evolve slightly over time by carefully updating their JSON file, but always remain instantly recognizable. What kind of new creative possibilities does that open up for you? That's all for this deep dive. We really hope this tutorial gives you the practical